Okay, boys and girls, we're going to start the next part of our project, and that's the North American map. So we're going to do a similar map like we did for the world map, but we're going to do it for North America. So I'm going to go into Paint. Right now I'm inside Paint. I'm going to go to File, Open, and you want to go to your Favorites. Go down, 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 Student Work folder, and you're going to find your class. Okay, so I'm going to click on my class backpack, and then you're going to find the one that says North America Map. I'm going to click and open that up. So here we go. We have the North America map, and it's all set for us and ready to go. Go ahead and pause the video and follow those steps. Okay, so here is a map of North America. We have the different countries that are here. We have Canada at the top. Alaska is part of the U.S., and so we have Alaska and then U.S. below Canada, Mexico, and then there are other countries here in Central America. So we're going to start off with coloring in these countries. So let's start with Canada, because Canada has a lot of islands here. And one over here. We don't want to confuse them with the islands by Alaska. So here I am inside North America. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to first start with Canada. So I need to go to my bucket, and I'm going to do Canada green. So I'm going to click on green, and then I'll start with the big one first. This main one is Canada right here. Now we need to get in closer to do all of these islands right here. That is still part of Canada. So I'm going to go in closer. Remember, I can use my scroll bar to go over, and I can use my scroll bar to go down. And so I'm going to get all of these little islands and turn them the same color as Canada. You may use a different color than green, but it all needs to be the same color to represent it's part of the same country. Just like we did similarly with the continents. Okay, so here we have all of these islands. And if I make a mistake, remember I can go back, and then make that green. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go right down here, and this one island is still a part of Canada. These islands right here are a part of Alaska, so we're not going to color them. Go ahead and pause the video to add that into Color Canada. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to color the United States. So the U.S. is right here in the middle, and we also have up here in Alaska. So I'm going to choose a different color. I'm going to choose orange. So here I'm going to get Alaska, and again I'm going to go in close so that I can get all of these little islands. So I'm going to go down and get inside these islands right here. Now, you might see that this isn't as perfect of map. There's some little gray spots that weren't there on the world map, but we're just going to do our best. So now that I have Alaska, I'm going to go down and do the rest. Here is the U.S. now. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video, color the United States. Now we're ready to do Mexico. So we're going to do Mexico right down at the bottom here. So I'm going to choose a purple for Mexico, and I'm going to do purple right there. Go ahead and color Mexico. Go ahead and color Mexico, and then come right back here. Now, as we can see, there are different islands out here in the Caribbean Sea. We also have different countries down here before we get to South America. So what we're going to do is we're going to color each of those countries and islands a different color. So here I am back at my main. I'm going to pick a different color, so I can do a dark blue, and color, and I'm just going to start going through and coloring all of these different countries. Okay, so as you can see, I've colored all of the other countries and islands a different color to represent, to show that they are from a different place. And I see I accidentally have one that's the same, so I'm going to change that color. So you can go ahead, finish adding the color. Go ahead and pause the video to finish that. And the last thing we're going to do now is we're going to add in the ocean, and we're actually going to add in these lakes that are up here in the US too. So I'm going to go back to my map, and I'm going to go up and I'm going to hit blue. That's the one reason I didn't choose that blue yet. And so now I'm going to click in the ocean. Now we have the ocean, and then I'm going to click inside here as well. These are the Great Lakes up there. So there we go. We have our colored map of North America. What we need to do is we need to make sure we save it. So File, Save As, and then at the end of North America map, make sure it's saved in your student work folder, and we're going to add our name so we know that this is the one that we added color to. And I'm going to say save, and we're going to say okay. Okay, we are now done with paint, and we're going to add it to our drawing in Google Classroom. So now I'm in Google Classroom. I've opened up my drawing, and it's all ready for me to add North America. So I'm going to go to Insert, Image, and I'm going to say choose an image to upload, and we are going to go Favorites, Student Work folder, and you're going to find yours in yours. And remember, mine is the one that has my name on it, so I'm going to say Open. And here is North America. Now it perfectly fits, so we don't really even want to do anything to it. Go ahead and pause the video so that you can upload your photo into your drawing. Now it's time for us to add our labels. So we're going to add our labels of our countries, and we're going to start with Canada. We're going to do it the United States, and then followed by Mexico. So I'm going to go back to my Google drawing, and now I'm going to go to my text box like we did before, and I'm going to click. So now I'm ready to write Canada because that is the country, Canada. Now I can click, I can highlight, I can make it a little bit bigger, so it may be 24, you can decide. And here we go, we have Canada right here in green. Next, I'm going to add the United States, and then followed by Mexico. So let's add the US. I'm going to click, I'm going to add the you can write the full name if you want. You can say the United States of America. The other option that you could do, because if you don't want to do the whole one, is you could instead, if you wanted to, you could write U.S.A. And that also represents the U.S. So you can choose whichever one you want. So I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger, not too much, otherwise I'm not going to be able to fit it. Okay, and if that happens, what I can do is I can use my arrows to kind of make it smaller and compress it so that it does fit. Okay, so here we go. We have the United States of America, and now I'm going to add Mexico. Now Mexico is a little bit harder to fit, so I'm probably not going to make it any bigger. And there we go. We have our 3 countries right here. Next, we're going to add our oceans. Go ahead and pause the video and complete by putting the labels on the countries. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the oceans. So as you can see, toward the left, on the west side, we have the Pacific Ocean. On the east side, we have the Atlantic Ocean, and on the top, we have the Arctic Ocean. We also have the Gulf of Mexico, which is not an ocean, but it is a body of water. And we have the Caribbean Sea right here. So we're even going to add those extra ones right now. So we're going to add the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Gulf of Mexico, and Caribbean Sea. So I'm going to go to my text box. I'm going to write Pacific Ocean. I can then make it bigger as well. I'm going to add the Atlantic Ocean. Over here. And now the Arctic Ocean at the top. Don't forget the C in Arctic Ocean. Okay. Now I have my oceans. And now I'm going to add the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. So I'm going to put Gulf of Mexico. Now see how that runs over? I'm going to just move it so that it I can see it better. There you go, and it's right in there. Okay, and then now I'm going to do the Caribbean Sea right here. So here we go. We have the oceans, our seas, and our countries on the continent of North America. So let's add that title right in here. So I'm going to say North America. I'm probably going to make that one the biggest one of all because that's the title. Okay, and then I can even move the Arctic Ocean over a little bit. Oops, wrong one. So I have to go slow. Okay. And now I'm going to add my name. So, Miss Rachel, and then you're going to say your class. So if I were 115, or whichever one you are in. Okay, make sure you have that as well. I'm going to put that one up there. Okay, now go ahead, pause the video, and do. All right, boys and girls, you are now finished with our map of North America.